Okay, so this is some PC footage. It is 3 battles compiled, all 3 versus FA, all 3 on the same district. Yeah, so I actually took the time to edit it. Um, yeah, basically I just took out all the times I was spawning in, or maybe a life where I like don't do anything, worth worth watching. I think I only cut out like 2 or 3 lives in the whole game. I cut out the victory screen, and I just go straight to the scores, and then I'll cut to the next game. I leave battle in each battle and then come back uh, about halfway through, so I cut that out of each of these. Yeah, so they're each a little over 10 minutes. I think it comes out to be about 32 minutes, but it was, I think, like 55 minutes before I did any editing, so it's much shorter now. So, I don't know. I think in this one I'm kind of getting in my groove. Yeah. We got Fusion Commander over here running Scotsmans and Bonds on every life. I do run Bonds on every life, but I don't run Scotsman. Running a Mimitar Assault. I came up with a new fit, which I'm liking a lot more than my old fit. This is pretty much my go-to now. Um, Essentially, it's 4 shield extenders, 3 profile dampeners, and Kincat. That Kincat gets me just fast enough to be satisfactory, at least for me. 3 profile dampeners gets me 20 decibels. That gets past every scan on even Galaji. That was a ridiculous shotgun range. Uh, Scan on every scanner on any suit, including Galaji, except for the focus scanner will still get me. But yeah. So that's that. I get like 8.5 meters per second, I think, 20 decibels. Like, what do I have? Can't even see it. 500 something. I think 535 shield, and the base armor, which is just like 200 something. I can't actually see it on the screen. It's too small for me. But yeah. So I get close to 800 HP, I guess. Not like 750 HP. And yeah, and I barely get scanned, and I'm still fast, etc., etc. So what happened here? Yeah, so I kind of just run around and do my thing, clear up links and kill people and push points, etc., etc. So this first battle, it, they attacked us. A certain thing happens, which, based on what I'm about to tell you, you're gonna know what thing happens. A lot of you anyways. So yeah, they battle, and then they re-attack us for, 5 minutes later or whatever it is, and we don't, too many people get off. We aren't able to feel the full 16. By the time we get our 16 in, they already have it 5 cap, so we just don't even fight. Well, some of us stay in, but some of us leave. Anyways, so I don't have that in here. And then the third one, we only have 10 clones, or 10 or so clones left. So that's not recorded either. The other 2 are the next day, or 2, no, they're 2 or 3 days later. Anyways, so there's 2 battles there. Yeah. And then the third one, they don't show up because they also, oh no, they have like 58 clones, but still not enough to compete. Yeah. So I missed too many shots there, so I die. Okay, so moving on. Like I said, I'm cutting out all the spawn times. I think one. I only cut out one in this game. I think is, or actually no, maybe 2 or 3. I think I get spawn killed a couple times here, so I just cut that out. Yeah. Let's talk about the rest of the fit. I guess I just have my gauge uplinks. I think it's an M209 submachine gun, which I usually don't. That's the advanced assault. I don't usually like running the assault. It goes through the clip too quickly, but here I get the Mimitar assault clip size bonus, so that I think it's just big enough, and I only really use it to finish off low HP people, and it's just good for, it shoots at 1200. It's like a pocket assault combat rifle. So yeah, I just right there. I just hit him with a couple stray bullets and he's done. It's really good for just tearing apart that, like, the last 200 armor on the Mimitar assaults once their shields are down. Just one blast from a shotgun and one no, I shouldn't say one, but a little burst from that. So yeah, I made that video the other day. It was called Bonds Absolutely Broken. I would go like 28 and 5 against whoever I was playing against. I don't remember. Uh, and I mean, that's not way too impressive a score. Maybe for some people that's a pretty impressive score. I don't think it's too good. I've done better than that just without it. But But if you just watch the video, if you just see what I was doing, I was just running into the building, the Surface Research Lab, I guess called the Mushroom Building, but then there's a production facility that also has a mushroom. Anyway, so it's the Green City, so the mushroom on that. I was just running into that building. I see there's a heavy and a Logi in there most of the time, maybe one other guy that's on the other side of the building. So I just run straight at the heavy, who's being repped by this Logi, and I just kill him because nothing, you can't beat a bombs in close range. So I just destroy him, and then the Logi, then I just basically instantly kill the Logi because he doesn't really have much time to switch from his repair tool to his gun. So I can just basically beat a heavy being repaired by a Logi by just running up to him. See, look, watch this right here. Just that was some ridiculous stuff. He gets picked up by a needle, full health. I just run right up to him while he's shooting me with HMG. I just destroy him. Now here I just kind of I shouldn't do this, but I just jump out and try to I don't know. There's guys shooting those enemies from behind, so I just kind of try to give them a little bit of help, but then my guys get wiped anyways. So oh well, I tried. Only cost me a bonds, right? Anyways, so in this after this battle actually, a little bit later, I think it was this one? Anyway, one of the battles we played, it might not be this one. It was versus FA, get headshot dominated. Yeah, they went and posted on the forum something like GG, like Random Guns lose like 178 clones in a battle, or 158, or whatever it was, or something, I don't know. Some sort of trying to troll us, but also trying to say good game at the same time, I don't know, etc, etc. I don't know, that thread got, well, derailed from, I suppose it's where it gets wrecked again, its original purpose, and I don't know, just because like a big GG thread, like legit GG thread where actually people, are saying these actually were good battles, which they were. Um, Honestly, we really should have won this battle. I don't know what happened towards the end. We just started slipping, but we were ahead most of the game and just, holding at least 3 points on them. I don't know. People on the team just really started messing up, and came down to links really. And in that thread, somebody said, you guys lay links like no other. And I don't know about that, because I think we're pretty bad with the links. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it seems like we were good with the links. We lay them a lot, but they get cleared really fast, I guess. I don't know. They drop a whole bunch of... I don't think they drop too many flux in this battle, but in the other two battles, they drop a whole bunch of... I think only flux OBs, which... that... Like, that kill right there, that just seems ridiculous. Like, I couldn't see him at all. Like, I don't know how he could see me. Like, I was fully behind that thing. Well, maybe I wasn't fully. Just it seemed like he shouldn't have done like 200 something damage with just a fraction of me sticking out with a shot. Anyways, yeah. I start lagging at some point, or did I already leave? Yeah, no, I already left. So I've started just leaving battles and coming back like a little before halfway through, because at a certain point it doesn't let you come back into the battle for whatever reason. It's probably just some stupid thing CCP did by accident. Like when they remove the typing and the amount of money you want to send someone. But yeah, so you can't come into battle, or maybe it was intended for some reason, but I just don't understand why that would be a thing. Yeah, so you can't come in. It's like halfway through the battle. I don't know if it's a time thing, or if one of the MCCs has to hit a certain amount of HP. Like if the defenders have to go into armor, or one of the team has to go into armor, or one has to hit like 3/4. I don't know what it is, but I try to leave the battle and come back before either team hits armor, just to be safe. It's worked every time so far. If I do that, so I don't know. Mimitar Soul, I really like the fact that, or compared to my Caldari Assault anyway, or Scout, that I can. Okay, this is really bad. Don't watch that. I get to one-shot melee uplinks, which helps immensely. I mean, I have the flux grenades on the Scout too, but you only get two of those. You can just run up and you melee them, and it takes them out instantly. I have to do it twice with the Scout if the uplink's at full HP, which just sucks. Yeah, so I mean, right there, he didn't even have a chance to, well, I don't know, he seemed kind of bad. I don't know who that was. But, he didn't even really get the time to turn around, and the bonds instantly destroys him. So, I think between all three of these battles, I probably lose, I think I die 14 times in this battle, 9 in another one, and I don't know what I die in the other one. But, yeah, so I probably lose 30, 40 bonds, which costs a lot of this, because generally buy them for 400k. And if anyone wants to sell me some, okay, well, I'll just do this now, assuming people are actually watching 9 minutes and 43 seconds into this video. But yeah, I'll buy bonds, Galax rail rifles or Agamis mass drivers for 400,000. Buy Calantes assault rifles or HMGs for 350,000, and I'll buy bolt pistols for 200,000. And I'll buy like I'll also buy ion pistols or Balix ARs, buy Lewis combat rifles. There's a whole bunch of things I'll buy, but if you wanna hit me up in game. But yeah, the things I listed first are the things I want to buy primarily. So yeah, that's the end here. I just cut to the scoreboard. I get first place. Look at me go. Most kills. I think Fusion might get more than me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Most kills on my team anyway. I can't actually see the numbers because the screen's extremely small. So yeah, now we're gonna cut to the next battle. Right now. Yeah. So again, flying in a dropship. The first two battles we get a pretty good deployment, but the third battle our FC and the guy who's supposed to fly the transport dropship, he DCs right at the beginning. So somebody else has to call in a dropship, and then yeah. So we just get delayed there. Yeah, so we almost just the third battle is extremely close. Uh, I probably shouldn't even say anything in case you guys haven't figured out who wins and loses. I've learned that people don't like knowing before the battle ends who wins and loses. So yeah. What else do I want to talk about though? So I might not do commentary through the entire thing, but I'm gonna. So yeah, just look at the. Okay, so they have a whole just pile of links here. And that's really what you gotta do. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter about placement. It really comes down to quantity over quality in links. Better links are better, yes. Just run the good ones, but when it comes down to placement, I'd rather have more poorly placed, or not super poorly. I don't want them throwing the acid, or on top of the rail where you just walk into or anything like that. But anyway, just out in the open, just more uplinks like that is much better than just more or less better placed uplinks. Just when you spawn, just if you're in the city, if you're in PC, just or anywhere really, but mostly in the city, just if you spawn, run a little bit and drop an uplink, and run a little more and drop another uplink, and maybe if you run the gauge one, you run a little bit more and you drop your third one. Or if you're a Logi or a scout that's carrying more than one uplink, then you keep dropping the uplinks. Yeah, you got okay, that's Sergeant Kirk over there, and he's being a real beast, running a Rattades and a Bonds and I think he's running a Balix in the other slot. I don't remember. I think he kills me with it one time or something. No, I don't know. I don't even know. I think it's an AR anyways, because he tries to be a little Galente fanboy and run only Galente stuff. Yeah, so, I don't know. He's on the CPM, which, congrats, Kirk, I guess. I think he's gonna upload these videos as well, or already has. I don't know. I'll maybe check after this. Definitely not gonna link it, because I'd have to come back. That's way too much work. Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. What else? Oh, okay, so you got that guy over there running Bonds. You got at least two people. You got Fusion Commander running the Scotsmen and the Bonds on their team. You got Sergeant Kirk running Rattades and Bonds, and I think another officer weapon. I think Himiko at one point runs a Rattades, and I don't know what his other weapon is, but he has an experimental breach AR in one of these battles. Just the officer meta is getting absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, that's my biggest complaint for PC right now. That can be easily fixed. CCP, they can't just fix the lag because for some reason they can't. And they can't, I don't know, they can't just instantly balance all the guns. They can't, what else? I don't know, I guess they probably could put in more maps in PC, although there's not too many more balance. If you put in Manus Peak, then it's just gonna be straight, just hardcore vehicle spam and snipers and gay shit. Yeah. Some maps are one side is a lot better than the other, at least at the start. Definitely from the start. Yeah. Oh, get decimated. Yeah. Oh yeah, Officer Matt, I was gonna talk about that. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. People like Fusion Commander can just run Bonds and Scotsmans and PCs basically forever because they have enough IS piled up, and I don't know. People, they might run out of access to it eventually, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, it's really stupid. I really hate going up against Bonds every single time I play a big team. I guess AE doesn't do it too much. I don't know about OH either. I know at least one guy who only runs Bonds. Cough. But yeah, if I play Skill of God or I play Fatal Absolution, then I'm going up against Bonds. I mean, at least you get Sergeant Kirk and Fusion Commander over here, and Skill of God does it even more. They have pretty much half their teams running officer weapons full time, whether it be officer HMGs or an officer mass driver. See, that lag was ridiculous there. It showed, it felt like I should have just been turning, but it just all of a sudden I'm just aiming at the ground. It was, I think I'll leave here in a minute. Get out of this battle. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that, I don't know. I really don't think CCP watched my videos. I know Ritaddy's watched a couple of them because he commented on posts I made on the forums, and maybe I should link to the forums more. But people get tired of my PC spam videos, so maybe other videos I might. Anyways, uh, basically the biggest problem with it is the war bar. I've talked about this before, but I'm talking about it again. War barges, you just have basically a fountain of officer and experimental. You get more officer than experimental because there is more officer gear than experimental. I assume it's just an equal chance for every piece of officer or experimental gear when you claim from your experimental laboratory. But yeah, you basically just get more officer. And you can get, just with, I think, the level 1 mobile factory, you get like, what, 2 a day. And yeah, you can just easily do, if you're really dedicated. I know I'm too lazy to do this, I don't really want to log into characters and log out, but you could do multiple accounts, and you can have 3 per account. So, say you would just feel like running 4 accounts, then you have access to 12, that's 24 weapons per day, and then if you upgrade it, you can get like, 48 weapons per day. It's just out of hand. Just CCP needs to make it active instead of passive. You cannot have it, like, it frustrates me more than anything else, because it's just such a simple fix. Just make it so you actually have to play game. Just make it so you use those pieces of scraps or whatever they are to actually do it. It's just the shattered heat shield or heat sink or whatever they're called. Just make you use those to turn them into officer gear. It can be random or whatever. I'd really like it to be you get to choose, like, at least limit it. Reduce it to, I don't know, cut it down to, I want a Galente weapon, or I want a freaking Amar, whatever it is, just something. But it can't be passive like this, because just this infinite fountain of officer gear is out of hand, because CCP gave us an infinite fountain of ISK in PC a while back, and a lot of people definitely harvested a lot of ISK and farmed a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of ISK. I didn't farm so much, but I did, back when you got PC based on clones destroyed rather than gear lost. Making at least like 3 million per battle, 4 or 5 on a good battle. I was raking it in, and yeah, I mean, I have over 1 billion now again. I got back over 1 billion. I had less than 1 billion for a long time, because I wasted, and this is probably the biggest mistake this is the biggest mistake I've ever made in Dusk, ISK-wise, where I just bought Balak CKOs for millions when they only go for like 1 million now. But I don't know. So I might be doing something with those, guys. So be on the lookout for that, because I've been planning for a while to do something with those, but I just haven't done it. Anyways, so this Ritaddy's here with his godly regen, and he gets me. Because he was hopping like a madman. I guess I gotta give him props, because he kind of wrecked me. But he only had like 10 HP. If it wasn't a Ritaddy's, I would have killed him for sure. Anyways, because he wouldn't have had the godly regen that the Ritaddy's comes with. Yeah, and there's some other thing I wanted to talk about in PC. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point and talking about whatever. God, what was it? Well, I really can't remember, so I don't want to just, I get team killed towards the end of, I think, the 3rd battle. I just run in, oh, dominated. Just running in, like, shotgun a guy, and then my teammate comes up, shotguns me in the back, and I was really mad about that. But, God, what? Oh yeah, Minmatar Assault, that's what, okay, yeah. So, Minmatar Assault's ridiculous. It's just, the fit that I made, it's basically just better than my Scout in almost every way, except for, I guess the Scout has better regen, and I guess higher movement speed. That doesn't matter too much. It's not that much higher. I get higher sprint speed on this. Higher movement speed, not higher sprint speed. And I get the extra equipment slot on the Scout. So it gets, I guess, mostly just regen and regen and an equipment slot. Whereas this gets, I can run a higher level shotgun. I run more HP. I run the same damps. I can one-shot melee equipment. I guess I have better passive scans on the Caldari Scout as well, but it's just passive scans are all really shitty, so it doesn't really matter. Basically, what I'm saying is assaults just basically outclass scouts now. There's no real reason to be using a scout if you want to run a shotgun. Just run an assault with a shotgun. Yeah, scouts need a real role. It doesn't have to be combat. They don't have to be better than assaults in combat, but they definitely need e-warfare. It needs to, that needs to be, the whole e-warfare thing needs to be reworked, because the whole concentric circles for the scan, that whole thing, it's just not, it just doesn't work well. Doesn't work properly, because basically you only get like half of your scan range, because after 50% you have much higher than your regular scan, like it's like 50% more scan precision or something, which means on an assault you'll have like 58 or it's some ridiculous number that won't scan shit. It just, I don't understand why it's like that. Why it's at 50%. Maybe, make it the last 20% of your scan range bad, or 25%, but you can't make the last 50% near pointless. Range amplifiers are complete trash. I don't know why CCP nerfed them. They don't need to be nerfed. And even if they were gonna nerf them, why they nerfed them into the ground? They took proto from 45% to 15%. 15% is complete garbage. I'd say, they need at least 30% proto. Maybe do it 20, 25, 30, or whatever you want to do. 10, 20, 30 doesn't sound very good, because 10 at basic is the point. Most modules that are percentage modules are, you have to go with proto. Like, they're almost useless otherwise. If you're on a basic or an enhanced profile dampener, you're really doing it wrong. Same thing with precision enhancers. Same thing with range amplifiers, except for range amplifiers, if you're running them, you're doing it wrong at all. Yeah. And also, in my opinion, they should change HP mods to percentages, and then make them closer together. But yeah. Anyways, shield regulators, pretty much garbage at not pro. They're okay at advanced, but it's only like 9 more CPU and like 1 more PG for another 10% reduction, which I don't know why you. Anyway, so that's the end of the second battle, and I've managed to ramble on for 22.5 minutes. So yeah, there's the scores and stuff. I get like a 2 KD. Fusion Commander still, he didn't do as well that game as the first one. I don't know. He's gone like 38 and like 8 on his core, because he can kill people on my team that are bad. Not to say that people in my corp are necessarily like bad. There are definitely some bad people, as in most corps. But yeah, just people that don't have gun game, as much gun game as other people, or as much situational awareness. Those are two really big things in PC. Along with, maybe like teamwork. So look at this heavy here. You can't. There's no comms here. You can't hear it. But I tell him, why did you run by 5 uplinks? Now you see me just walk up and melee all 5 of these uplinks, and he's just like, oh, I was throwing a grenade. Anyway, so it's Paulus. Paulus, who is a troll. So he trolled me and he did that. I don't know. I don't know how he ran by. See, like that. I mean, like that. How do you not notice? You walk and you flux 1 uplink, but you don't notice the other 5 you just walked by. Like, how do you lack that much shit? I mean, sorry, Paulus. I don't mean to troll you, dude, but just you walk by a lot of uplinks. Yeah. So again, this battle really comes down to the what. Yeah, I don't. There's no point in me repeating myself, so I think I'm just gonna end my narration here. Let me just finish up with the assault. Yeah, I don't. Just min assault is basically good for everything. Almost. You can just run a shotgun in the city. You can run like a rifle on the out. You can do like whatever, and you still have the equipment slot, which the Sentinels don't. You basically outclass scouts in stats, and like I guess commandos, you can't run AV and a real weapon at the same time, so I guess commandos still have that. And what Logis still have way more equipment, but just, I don't know. It's just, when it's basically better to have it in almost any situation to just have an assault over a sentinel or a scout, that's really dumb. And I don't know, especially Mimitar Assault, because they're just the fastest one. They get the they're most versatile. And anyways, I don't really want to talk about this anymore, so I'm just gonna end the narration here. There's still another like 5.5 minutes on no, like 8 minutes on this video, 7, 8 minutes. So if you want to finish it, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you or anything. If you want to stop, that's cool too. It's kind of a long video. I assume a lot of people have stopped before now. But yeah, some good battles with FA, GG, etc., etc., and Silver's out.